Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, gonna be a Patreon cast between Sky and Jaedong here on Aztec. Left side, it is a green Protoss player. It's gonna be Sky. And top side, kind of a peachish, I don't know, light pinkish Jaedong. Jaedong has a lot of PVZs on Aztec in this replay folder that I got off of Team Liquid, practicing against his teammates at Hwasong OZ. I'm not entirely sure if Aztec is a favored map for practice, or maybe just the replay pack just had somebody dump a lot of these in there. And there are as many of like Fighting Spirit and Circuit Breakers and Destination replays as there are Aztec maps, but we will never know. Alright, what are we doing here today, friendos? Well, it's going to be a Patreon cast, which just means it's going to be posted on patreon.com/FalconPaladin a month before anybody else can see it on the YouTube channel. Those of you who support me on that site for at least $1 a month can see these casts on that site. Good way to support me if you want to, overpooling it. There's our friend Jaedong, but they do show up on the YouTube channel eventually, so if you're watching this on YouTube in, I don't know, February, then by all means, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I'm here 5 times a week with Brood War content, alright? Alright, excellent. Very, very good. Alright, what else is going on here? What are you doing, Sky? Sky might be going, okay. It's going for a forge. For a minute there, I was worried he might be trying to go Nexus first against this, you know, it's not a pool first, it's an overpool, but it's a little bit early on that one. Let's see how the defense is. The Overlord does scout the right direction, and the drone is going to go for the hatch, checking to make sure there aren't any, you know, pylons or probes hiding back here for the cannon rush. Yeah, Aztec. If you like ZVP and you've watched all my ZVPs, you know there are a lot of ZVPs on this map. I got, I don't know, something like 7 or 8 Jaedong versus Cal games on this map, which is just crazy. So the good thing about these games is you'd be like, okay, well, Jaedong is the best Zerg player ever, so he'd obviously win all these matches. But you know what happens when you practice against somebody all the time? You start to understand their tendencies. You start to understand what they're capable of. You start to recognize their timings. And then you start causing them problems because you know how they're going to play, right? So I think at this point, Sky's like, all right, I saw what's happening here. I knew when to scout to see if there's lings coming. I scouted it perfectly. I'm getting cannons up. Whereas against someone who maybe isn't as familiar with playing against Jaedong directly would not be ready with this. And then the lings would get in, they'd scout everything, and then the Protoss would be very, very sad. Jaedong is sad he made all these lings and they can't do anything whatsoever at this point. I mean, they're forcing these probes off the line for about, yeah, 4 seconds. So that counts for something. Anyway, Pro wants to know if there's a third base, and there is a third base attempt from Jaedong because Jaedong is, oh, he's trying to get it down. Dude, look at, oh my gosh, he's going to lose this. Don't lose it. Don't lose the drone. We're cheering for you, little drone. You have 6 HP now. That's good. And the lings are going to save your patootie, so excellent. Excellent. He's not going back to expand. Dude. Now, oh, look at that probe. I got it. These lings don't have speed. They can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. And speed's not on the way either. We don't have enough gas for anything yet. We're going to go for a lair before speed or speed before lair? Lair. Definitely lair timing and expanding here. All right, fair enough. Jaedong going for that third base later than he otherwise would because, right? Because Sky knows his tendencies and when he wants to expand and where he wants to expand on this map. And he showed up with a probe and shut it down for a while. So both players have gotten minor victories against each other at this stage. It's basically 2-1, I would say, in favor of Sky. But, you know, the game's not over yet. Not sure it's going to be anytime soon either. So happy 2022, everyone. Whoever's watching this is definitely in 2022. This game is not from 2022. This game is from a while ago yet. Like something around, 2012 maybe? Maybe 2010? Something around that time. This probe is just like, oh, never mind. I was like, this probe's invincible because there's slowlings and nothing else to kill it, and the slowlings got it. They just got enough hits over time, over long periods of time. Stargate, cha-chow. Behold a spire. Cha-chow. Alright, all the timings are working out for Jaedong perfectly. So, what's this drone doing? Why is there... Are we transferring a drone down to the third base? Oh, there's a zealot attacking it. But I mean, these things can handle it. I don't know... There's another drone coming down here too. Just gonna go for a fourth. The good thing about expanding here is that you can throw up some Sunkens and defend this base, but also defend this base from ground attacks. So that might... Hey, just Maynard... That is a very long Maynard transfer down this way. Wow, he's at 3 drones all the way down. Oh, another 5 drones all the way down here to Maynard because he was already as saturated as he wanted to be at the natural, I guess. Huh. Alright, well, Citadel of Aduna is on the way. We've got Corsair DT in the back pocket of Sky if that's what he wants to do. It is definitely on the path he's traveling right now. And we'll see if we actually get Mutalisks out of Jaedong or if he goes for the Scourge just to deal with the Corsairs to a certain extent. He could make the Mutas. We've seen it before. Not my favorite thing, but it has led to wins in ZVPs in the past, so I can't complain about it too much. Just going for leg enhancements, not going for that fast Templar Archives. Here's our Protoss player, Sky. Corsair going to get the easy pickings of taking down this Overlord. And production tab is just a couple sets of Scourge, so that's fine. Jaedong's not going for them Mutalisks. He's going to try to deal with the Corsairs with Scourge. Maybe try to get a Hydralisk Den up here and get some Lurker aspect out because that really helps against incoming Zealot attacks at this third base, for example. Dude, that fourth base is about 30% complete. He's got a macro hatch up here too, and another macro hatch. Jaedong is looking pretty good. I'm just saying, he's looking really good all of a sudden. If this works for him, if he is capable of holding on to these expansions and droning them up, then he just wins this game going away. But of course, Sky's job is to show up with Zealots with speed and Corsairs and stuff, and force Jaedong to make things other than, you know, drones, which is all he's really been making for the last couple minutes here. So, Zealot attack at the natural base. There are some oh, that's really sick timing on those Sunkens. Again, if you practice a lot against Jaedong, he gets to learn your tendencies too. That's how practice partners work, because you get to know each other very, very well, both directions. So he's having to sacrifice some drones to make Sunkens here, which is annoying, but also he can replace them by making 6 drones at a time, which definitely Protoss cannot do. It's the advantage Zerg has and the disadvantage that Zerg has too. Very interestingly designed race. Really nothing else. I think Protoss and Terran are very similar, but the Zerg is just kind of its own standalone, very different way of approaching the game, yeah? I think that's fair to say. There are some DTs coming in and a shuttle, so maybe trying to get some DTs here in this fourth base, but just completely bypassing the Sunkens would not be a terrible thing. Yeah, I mean, there's 2 Sunkens and there's Lings at your back. I don't know if you want to go in here. He definitely doesn't want to engage the Sunkens and the Lings at the same time. But if... Well, can he actually get to these in an effective manner? I don't think that he can. Well, High Templar are on the way from Sky because he knows one way to deal with the Zerg, no matter what they're doing, is to get Storm. Why would you not get Storm against whatever the Zerg player is working on? Honestly, why? Same for every match. Honestly, every matchup, any game that gets to the point where you can tech up to Storm, you just tech up to Storm. It's good in PvP. It's good in PvT. You can storm groups of tanks and vultures, and you can storm drop enemy worker lines, and it's just good. Storm is the best spell in the game, I believe. It's not, you know, it's not the only good spell, but it is, I think, widely considered the best spell. So here comes some DT stuff into the main base of Jaedong, which we have seen other Protoss players do before in this matchup, especially, you know, fellow clan members of Hwasong OZ. Maybe just recognizing that Jaedong doesn't like getting static defense or, like, spores in his... Oh, he did make a bunch of Mutalisks. All right. Doesn't like having a ton of Overlords in his main base because, obviously, the Corsairs are a problem. Doesn't like getting a spore because who likes to get spores? And the DTs are going to town. One-shotting these drones. Whap! Wow. Okay. All right. Remember how Sky was back a little bit? He is evening the score here by taking down a ton of those drones. 11 kills? Oh my gosh, 11 kills on those DTs. And they're going to get the Spire. The Overlord pops out too late to save the Spire. These Mutas are dead, but they have done some seriously great work today. Insane amounts of good work. Also, this third base didn't happen because I am assuming the mutas dealt with it. Yeah. Probably the mutas jumped over that way. Archon's pretty good in the situation. All right, Jaedong, make these mutas work. Make me a believer. Because I'm a believer. Oh, bro. Archon doing bro sounds. Seriously, I guess he's got detection in Sunkens here. I would honestly... Oh, yeah, there we go. Sunken there. Maybe a couple Overlords. Maybe even a Spore because it deals with Corsairs and DTs? I guess he didn't have an evolution chamber yet. He's working on that now, though. Robotic support bay at 10 minutes. He's getting all the splash damage fairly quick here. I like it from Sky. He's, Zealot Ling. I guess Zealot Archon. Pretty good against Ling. Ooh, Archon getting any kind of splash damage on these mutas is great. It's just they're fast enough. Oh, they don't have to get hit if they're being controlled perfectly, which Jaedong, a little bit problematic. Oh, no, he didn't know there were cannons here. Oh, he loses a couple. Scourge. Could have been a lot worse, but still not great. He has to replace his Spire, which stinks. He has to redrone up, which he has. He's back up to 57 workers after doing some work that way. Sky's third base is finally coming up at 11 minutes, which is a little bit late for a third base in this matchup, but Jaedong being on 4 before Sky gets onto his third is some good basic maths that I am capable of doing because I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar. Yeah, so the mutas, they can deal with the Zealots fairly well. I mean, there are 10 of them, so that helps. If you have, 1,000 gas worth of Mutalisks, you can kill a Zealot fairly quickly with Mutalisks, you know? I like the pressure, and then he's going to unload the DTs in the main base again and basically say, you still don't have any Sunkens in here, do you? No! More drones going to die. The Archons and the Zealots get in, but then Hydras pop and Sunkens chase them away, but the DT is paying for itself already here. I don't know if there's anywhere to go. Yeah, very, very dead. DTs are squishier than Zealots. Boom, boom, boom. Adrenal glands on the way from Jaedong. God, love me some good adrenal glands. Defiler Mound coming in. Singularity charge recognizing the threat of lurkers now that Hydras have started popping. Production tab says no lurker aspect being researched. So that's interesting. You don't have to make lurkers. Consume, obviously. So Jaedong's had 4 bases for like, I don't know, 5 minutes already, and he hasn't taken a 5th. It's just a little bit harder to defend. I guess this is your best bet, though. But it's only les minerals. But all right, Jaedong's taking it. Sky in the middle of the map. Got his Zealots, Dragoons, Archons ready to rock. It is 142 to 134 supply. Sky has a lead. He doesn't have as many workers as the Zerg player does. That means his army is bigger, which is not super great at this stage of the game. Yeah, the mutas are bad against Archons, but they don't have to engage with them. But if the Archons are attacking one of your bases and you need those mutas to defend it, it goes very poorly for the mutas. Exceptionally so. All right, here we go. Corsairs dealing with the Mutalisks. Reavers trying to get some big-time hits off on those Hydras. Archons in the front doing some serious work, too. This is suddenly a very strong push out of Sky. The supply is plummeting for Jaedong, down to 134. He's making 18 Hydras at a time. The Reavers are here to deal with these Sunkens if they can afford to do that. But the time, right? These Hydras are on their way. The Defilers are coming, too. I know using the Reavers to take this down is a good thing, but man, Sky decides that's enough. That's enough. I got some really good value out of that. Let's pull back. Let's not try to engage with anything anymore here. That's interesting. Oh, Hydras. Oh, Hydra sniping that High Templar. Beautifully done. Anytime you're killing a High Templar like that, it's a good feeling. Jaedong on the offensive here a little bit. He's got his mutas, got his Hydras. It is a strategy we've seen kind of more often from In Control. but definitely has had its uses here as well, obviously, on the Korean side of the world. $149 to $153 supply, pretty even here at 15 minutes. He is morphing some lurkers up. Okay, on the ramp and also elsewhere. So we are seeing lurkers. Because if you don't have the lurkers, then basically we don't have to make Dragoons at that point, and Sky can use his money elsewhere. But now that there's Dark Swarm and lurkers, yeah, that's the question here. This is sending Reaver shots up a ramp is really nice stuff here. All right, so we're gonna shuttle on in. Gonna try to do maybe a bit of a storm. All right, okay, that was pretty good on the storm drop there. Down to 61 drones. Jaedong after that, setting up. Lurker's not accomplishing a whole lot there. Trying to, oh my gosh, really just walking into 3 different Reavers there. Not ideal. Does he have detection here is the question. I don't actually see an observer with this army. Look at this, round 2. Bam, couple Hydras die. Gets on out of there. Dude, Sky shuttle usage has been really, really good. Sky going for a 5th base. No, says the incoming Zerg Swarm. And he's like, I can't engage directly with that army. Also, storming the ramp makes it so I can't engage here either, actually. So that's not great. And that Overlord taking some hits. Got +2 attack on the Dragoons. The Lings are at 2-1. And the Hydralisks are at a 2-1 upgrade as well. All right, so Jaedong, he's got 6 bases all of a sudden. He's expanded a couple times. Another beautiful storm drop. Oh, these clumped up drones. Oh, okay. 5 kills there, down to 60 workers again. Jaedong keeps spending money and replacing his worker count, and they continue to die. So we're leaving that High Templar to die, speaking of which. All right, Sky heading to the south, going after this. My gosh, that's at a 7th base Jaedong is going for. I don't know about that, man. The Reavers, getting some big-time hits. Underneath the Dark Swarm, that's what you gotta do, is splash damage, and that is what these Reavers are doing for you. They're trying to kill. Oh, there we go. They're getting the Defilers. Need some Reaver shots. There's a Lurker down here. Maybe you can storm it. Yes, you can storm it. You have a High Templar with enough energy for that. You have 2 High Templar with energy for that. You're actually saving that for the Hydras, possibly. Can Jaedong hold this back? Is the question of the day. Oh, these Reavers. Okay, one of them dies. There are still 2, and 2 is a pretty magic number, nevertheless. Okay, so he finally storms that Lurker down. It dies. The Dark Swarm expires. It's 152 to 124 supply. Lings and Hydras coming in to try to deal with this Dark Swarm. Oh, what a pickup. What a pickup. Once again, safe. Dude, Sky's micro right now is 6 storms happening. Reavers happening everywhere. The cost efficiency of the Sky Army is insane. And this 7th base of Jaedong's does die, but how much does that really matter? He's still got 6 bases, but he's down about 40 supply right now, 50 supply even to the Protoss. Another storm drop down here. High Templar kills himself in the storm. Jaedong's down to 45 workers. This is not looking good. Lego getting tossed down on the Dragoons, on the Zealots. Catching a High Templar there too. This guy does not have energy for a storm. He was close though. He was close. Oh, the Reavers just got 1-2 picked up. Couldn't pick him up with the shuttle. Jaedong trying to hold on here. Being down as much supply as he is not great, but through superior spell casting and keeping track of his more expensive, powerful units, he can do it, and that's exactly what happened. He killed both Reavers after, they got 800 million kills. That was a lot of dead Zerg attributed to those for sure. But Jaedong is taking advantage of the fact that he has so many bases right now and so much available larva. Ling's trying to take, oh my gosh, Ling Hydra, they do snipe a Reaver there. Oh no. The comeback potential is real here. Dude, that Reaver's gonna die too. Okay, well the rest of the army doesn't do much at this base, but 2 Reavers went down. That's a victory for Jaedong. He's gotta be feeling pretty good about that one. It's 56 to 55 workers. Jaedong has lost so many drones today, and yet he keeps rebuilding them. He understands the importance of having those drones. Obviously, it's a very basic thing. Why am I even talking about it? That's the question. So yeah, hit that like button if you're enjoying this cast. Holy cannoli, it's a good one. Dude, seriously though, Jaedong, man. He had units protecting this for like 2 or 3 minutes, and he's like, well, I guess I'm never getting storm dropped again. And he left it alone, and that's exactly when Sky came back in. 53 drones. Jaedong has probably lost, what, 25, 30 drones today? Something like that. Another, oh my gosh, another beautiful storm drop, laddie. Down to 46 drones after that one. Huge Zerg attack at Sky's 4th base, though. And this thing is gonna die. I'm not sure if there's enough to save it. The Dragoons are pretty worthless with the Dark Swarm. That said, man, this drop. They're waiting for enough energy. Okay, so they take the Scourge hits. They're waiting for enough energy. Ah, the Nexus does go down. That's the big victory. Everything else Zerg dies here. Zerg dies, though. Including a bunch of Overlords, which does supply block Jaedong. Not a good feeling. Oh, it does get a storm up, and more drones die. That's a 9-kill High Templar. That said, Sky lost a lot of workers in that engagement. 41 probes remain for him. This is an absolutely crazy exciting ZVP. I don't even know what to tell you. This 5th base of Sky's has been under assault pretty consistently today. He's floating about 1,500 minerals and 1,500 gas, working on armor upgrades, but not really producing all that many units. Too much focus on this army, which does not have any Dark Swarm protecting it. That said, the Nexus goes down with a handful of Lurkers and Hydras that remain here. Absolutely insane. 103 to 99 supply. Jaedong has a minor lead here. Ling, Muta gonna try to take down these cannons. The Lings have Adrenal and +3 attack. They're gonna tear through cannons very, very quickly. So this is not happening for Sky. He is retaking this 4th base up towards the top side of the map. There's a Lurker here with 10 kills. And he has to do the trick. He has to attack his own probe, and the splash damage kills the Lurker because he doesn't have the detection available. Muta's trying to pick off some of these High Templar, but there aren't enough of them to really do that. 3, and when you're this injured, just means you're probably going to die. Oh, I guess you could walk into a Dragoon and get murdered too. Yes, absolutely. That's a possibility. Wow. What an absolute bloodbath this game has been. It's been great both ways, too. I think both players have gotten some serious work done. It's +3 attack and +1 armor for the Protoss units. See if I can find a Hydralisk here. They're at 3-3. Okay, so the Lings and Hydras are at 3-3, which means the Lurkers are at 3-3 too. Metasynaptic Node on the way for Jaedong. Sky doesn't have enough money to rebuild this 5th base, which seems like a problem. Dude, this game is tight. These mutas are like, we can kill this whole base if you give us the chance. There's nothing that shoots up over here except for a single cannon. It's not really well positioned either. Sky is now down 30 supply. Remember when he was up 50 supply and then Jaedong was just like, Plague, Dark Swarm, snipe the Reavers, kill the shuttles, and just absolutely macroed his way out of that problem? Yeah, that was insanely good. Sky just not really defending anything right now, not really going for any. He really wants to kill this base. Where's his detection at? Oh. Just bypassing the Lurkers entirely to kill this base. I support it. It's probably the easiest one to go after, I mean, for obvious reasons. Bunch of Lurkers die, but Jaedong is still up 143 to 102 supply. Getting some free kills here, though. Hydra's trying to kill stuff inside Dark Swarm. Dark Swarm, double-edged sword. Obviously, but suddenly there's a huge group of Hydras here. How much storm do we have? The answer is maybe enough, maybe not enough, because we're retreating now. We still have another storm available. Plague-oo! Plague-oo goes down. You have another storm here on this guy. Ah, GG's out. He GG's out. He knows he's down too much. He knew he didn't slow down Jaedong's economy enough, which is crazy, considering how many drones he killed today with storm drops for the most part. insane. But I think what it just came down to is Jaedong getting that 4th base up super fast, getting macro hatches everywhere, none of which died. Like, that's the whole thing. It says macro hatches never died. His hatches never died, with the exception of the 7th that I think Jaedong was almost even baiting, right? He was almost just kind of baiting him. Hey, come kill this. I really need this. And he didn't. He didn't need that at all. He had these right side bases too that it was already saturating, and they were doing great. He didn't even need this for Vespine gas, which is insane. Yeah, that was good. That might be getting an epic tag for Jaedong to go down from 50 supply down to like 30, 40 supply up at the end of the game. It's just a testament to the macro, the micro. He started getting plagues down. The Dark Swarms were fantastic. I think Jaedong handled, or Sky handled them pretty well. I think that High Templar had about 90 energy in it. Maybe enough to kill those Hydras. I don't know if you keep battling at that point, though. He just can't keep up with the economy. Jaedong just knowing when to drone, knowing when to make. He's still making drones now. He's got a drone in the production tab. Insanely good ZVP. Hit that like button, seriously. If you haven't hit the like button yet, because you're like, I don't like doing that, do it for this one. This was great. 209,000 points for Jaedong, 197 for Sky. Outproduced the Protoss player 7-2. Kill death ratio for Sky was a 5-2, and that's your difference right there. Structures raised, not many Zerg buildings died, and 18 Protoss buildings died. And then this is the big deal. 63,000 spent to 50,000 spent, a 13,000 resources spent difference at this stage of the game. Yep. That is it's gonna be an issue. So good game for sure. Hope you enjoyed it. That's going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.